Very quick pre-market video here for the 4th of January, Wednesday. I'm looking at the DAX as usual to get a indication of market sentiment. Looks bullish for now. Again, the DAX is up pretty big, 1.4, 1.5%, recovering that prior support in a pretty impressive manner. Resistance being 14,600. But the point is the DAX is kind of looking bullish, too bullish in my opinion. And it's not just the DAX, it's the CAC. Basically, Europe. I'm just going to summarize it like that. It's a little mixed, You've also got the Australians up. You've got the Nikkei. Okay, the Japanese are a bit special at the moment. They're down. But just global markets kind of bullish, if I had to decide between bullish and bearish. Then let's look at the dollar. The dollar is also strange. Australian dollar is very strong today. Also, Europe is up. But basically, the dollar is down. And after yesterday's massive engulfing candle, I wouldn't expect it to be this weak. But it's given back quite a bit. It's okay. It's normal. It's usual to test prior resistance. And now it's sort of bouncing off it. But the dollar shouldn't take out its low. And if it does, then it really needs to go all the way much lower. Because if you have an engulfing candle that just fails so quickly. I mean, it's again, yesterday was the first trading day of the year, so I kind of understand why there could have been some false signals, but it's just surprising how much the dollar's giving back today. Obviously, the day is very young, so let's see. Everything changes when the US markets open, everything. So certainly not going to read too much into it. But anyway, that's interesting. What's also interesting, Bitcoin's just sideways a little up. The futures, if I look at the futures, they're also following the DAX a little bit. They're weaker. So US is underperforming Europe. But I'm looking at futures now more directly rather than just taking the DAX for its word. VIX is lower because the markets are up. But it's really gold and silver, actually. Actually, before I get there, look very quickly at oil. Oil again going back down, sort of going to test a double bottom, low 70s. That's interesting. I really expected oil to be stronger. And also, you got the dollar down, so that usually helps oil a bit. But anyway, oil is a lot of people are in oil. A lot of people have been buying the dip, thinking long term it goes up. And long term, this year, 2023, oil should really, re-enter the $100 range, in my opinion. I've listened to a lot of podcasts on that. And I think, energy is everything. Markets, economies, countries run on energy. Inflation is certainly not going to be tamed as easily as people think. And there's, the demand and supply side. I'm not going to get into oil. Anyway, oil is weak, and there's an opportunity to get into that or the oil stocks. But it's gold and silver again. Actually, they're outperforming the other commodities, generally speaking. And I mean, look, gold today took out yesterday's high of 1850. Right now, you can see we're 1860, and we've even ventured higher than that, 1865. And we ventured outside of this ascending resistance zone. So, I mean, gold could make 1880 at this rate. It's certainly not bearish. Look at that. It's just like several days of strength. Silver is underperforming gold. It had to make a bounce where it was because it was really testing the ascending support. So silver is weaker than gold, relatively speaking. It's like 2 days in a row where gold and silver are up the same percentages, and normally silver should be, much more on the upside and on the downside. So silver, I'm going to stick with this resistance as the next resistance, and this should be pretty strong resistance. This descending line is sort of been in place for several months. And I just think it would be strong resistance. I also think it coincides quite well over here. I think there's a gap fill on SLV around the same area. Is that not true? Some sort of gap around here, 23, I remember. It just ventures outside the resistance zone. But anyway, these resistance are rough areas. They don't have to be totally precise. So yeah, silver is weaker than gold, but silver has decent resistance not far away, 3 or 4% away. That's one strong day away. Gold 1880, that at this point from where we are right now is really also 1 day away, because 1% in gold has been happening sort of the last 2 days. So Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. GDX and GDXJ should be strong because the markets are up and the underlying metal is up. So yesterday the market was down, the metal was up a little bit, and GDX and GXJ were very strong. So if the same applies today, we should really be venturing beyond. We should be above 38 at some point on GDXJ, and we should be above 30 on GDX. I just don't know if we have enough strength in the market because I don't think the market's going to go up that much. And the metals, I think there's resistance pretty close. So I don't know how high into this range the miners can venture before we go lower. But I'm scared of selling too early because I've already sold this range. So I might not touch anything in the metals in the gold and silver stocks that I own because I really want to see a bit more of a move higher before I start trimming again. You don't want to get shaken out of this market too quickly. Anyway, that's down to your strategies. I've just got sort of the minimum holding that I'm comfortable with. I don't want to sell anymore. That's it. One stock I forgot to mention yesterday actually was the ARK index because, Kathy Wood's ARK index. Look at that. Another one to really watch that sort of made the rounds, how poorly it's performed. I think it's down 66%. I could check with the chart. But the point is, look at that, very bearish engulfing candle. Yeah, we'll probably see some green today if the markets stay strong. But look at that. It's a bit like Apple, a bit like these other big stocks, Amazon, which I actually bought for the first time ever yesterday, very small position. But look, Apple, new lows. Okay, Amazon, I moved. But Google, same sort of thing. Very weak stocks, gonna make new lows soon, but ARK is one that I should be bringing up a bit more often because that drags the market down too. Anyway, that'll do. Let's see. It's just pre-market. Everything can reverse very quickly. I haven't even checked the news today. FX Street should. Let's quickly check. ISM manufacturing. Wow, FOMC minutes. My God, how did I miss that? Although that's not as big as the actual event itself, this might reveal some, which Fed governors disagreed and all this. So I don't know if it's as significant as it looks. But anyway, these two big events, yeah. So there'll be some market moves today. So I'll make another video at the close. Otherwise, good luck and enjoy.